The vibe is different today. There's a chill hanging. There's a hum in the building. 4 signals, 4 pressure points. One of them changes the way this entire week is going to be played. Another one pokes the league right in the ego. And there's this one find that came straight out of a division rival's backyard. The kind of thing that can decide everything when the moment tightens up. And right in the middle of it, a rookie with a real appetite for history. Some games don't start at kickoff. They start in the quiet, in the locker room. In that look a coaching staff gives the paper in front of them like, all right, this is where we pick what we're going to be remembered for. Because getting here wasn't pretty. It was heavy. Trench football. Low scoring. The kind of path Patriots Nation respects because we know what it costs. That's the question then. When it gets ugly, when everyone's sucking wind, who holds up? Who keeps the ball alive? And then you feel the jolt. Super Bowl. Again. First time since 2018. And it's not some random matchup either. Seattle is standing there waiting. A rematch of Super Bowl 49, with every fan in this base replaying every second, every decision, every moment that still sits in the back of your head. You feel that rush? Good. Because the way New England got here matches who this team is right now. Denver tried to turn the AFC Championship into a straight-up nerve test. It worked, too. That's what it became, 10-7. A score that screams the Patriot way. Few mistakes, total control. Punch the ticket with ice in the veins. Now here's the twist. If this game is tight and physical, and it sure looks like it's headed that way, the difference maker might not be the loudest name on the graphic. It's not only Drake May. It's not only Stephon Diggs. Super Bowls often come down to the guy willing to carry the piano when everyone else is gasping. Short yardage, contact, one more first down, one more series. Ramondre Stevenson hit that switch at the perfect time. During the season, there were stretches where the rookie Travion Henderson caught fire, and Stevenson had to share more than people expected. And yeah, there were messy moments, turnover issues, criticism, the noise that follows you when things aren't clean. But once the playoffs arrived, Stevenson reclaimed the workhorse role, and he's held on to it like it belongs to him. The volume has been elite. 3 postseason wins, and he's gone over 50 rushing yards in every single one. Plus, it's not just run, run, punt. He's been a real factor in the passing game. 7 catches for 86 receiving yards in this playoff run. That matters because it's versatility. It's trust. It's being the guy the offense leans on when everybody in the stadium knows what's coming. Look at the opponent and tell me you don't see why this is such a big deal. Seattle's defense was near the top of the league in the regular season, and they've carried that level into the postseason. That can cool off explosive offenses. It can shrink space. It can turn red zone trips into field goals and force you to live snap by snap, play by play, without the easy chunk play. So if this turns into one of those games where Mike Vrabel wants to live on possession, shorten it, and drag it into deep water, Stevenson is in the center of the plan. He's already piled up 280 scrimmage yards on 58 touches in the playoffs. Henderson, 26 touches. That split tells you exactly how New England has wanted to win in January. Picture it for a second. Santa Clara, clock moving, tight score, fourth quarter air getting thin. 3rd and long turns into that thought nobody wants to admit. Please don't blow this drive. Who do you want holding the ball? Who do you trust to squeeze out 4 yards when the whole building can see it coming? Keep that feeling right there. Because the next story isn't about a stat line at all. It's about respect. And it landed like a punch to the ribs. Some headlines don't hurt on the scoreboard. They hit you in the chest. You see the first reactions online and it's this weird freeze. Analysts stopping mid-sentence. Former players posting one word. People rereading the same line like it has to be a typo. Something shifted. Something that doesn't match logic, resume, history. And you know why that kind of thing always hangs around the Patriots? Because when you rule the league for 2 decades, you don't just collect trophies, you collect resentment. Owners remember. Executives remember. People hold grudges in rooms you'll never see. Then, when it's time to hand out the highest kind of recognition, it stops being only about the work and starts being about feelings. Here comes the hammer. Bill Belichick isn't a first-ballot Hall of Famer in 2026. Stop. Breathe. Read it again. The coach who won 6 Super Bowls as a head coach, 8 total across his NFL career, didn't get in on the first try, in his first year of eligibility. Foxborough lit up. The league froze. This isn't some cute debate show topic. It's shock. The reaction came in waves. NFL insider Jordan Schultz was one of the first voices to jump in with disbelief as the news started going around. Former Patriots players chimed in too. Jason McCourty said what a lot of fans were thinking. James White had a one-word response that basically captured the mood perfectly. And when someone like J.J. Watt steps in and starts saying this makes the Hall look less serious, you can feel how big the moment is. Because the argument is simple. If a career like that does— And then it gets uglier. There's talk that longtime Colts executive Bill Polian played a role in Belichick not getting the votes. That rumor is floating out there, and it only pours gasoline on what Patriots fans already feel about the way this league treats New England's dynasty. You already know the flashpoints. Deflategate, Spygate, narratives that refuse to die even when the game itself screamed the truth. The Deflategate angle has always felt ridiculous to a lot of people in this fan base, especially when you remember how that Indianapolis game actually went. New England ran all over them. 40 carries for 177 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns, and won 45-7 on the way to the Super Bowl. But the labels stuck anyway, and some folks never let them go. When the conversation starts feeling personal instead of football, it's not just Belichick getting disrespected. It's the credibility of the honor itself. If the best doesn't get recognized immediately, the award starts losing weight. And maybe that's the worst part. While some people want to downplay the past, the present is doing the most Patriots thing imaginable. Finding value where nobody else bothered to look, and turning other teams' leftovers into real impact. During the dynasty, Belichick became famous for knowing exactly when to move on from stars, and exactly which players could become critical once their old team decided they were expendable. That's how random guys turned into real players in New England. The question has been, does that magic survive a new era? Does Mike Vrabel have that same eye? The season answered it quietly. The playoffs answered it loud. Because beyond hitting on draft picks, this staff deserves credit for free agent additions that came straight from AFC East rivals. Players who were cut, overlooked, not retained. The 2 names that jump off the page, wide receiver Mack Hollins and defensive tackle Leonard Taylor III. Neither one was the flashy name back in September. Hollins wasn't a headline grabber. Taylor wasn't a star everyone circled. But Buffalo not retaining Hollins turned into a problem for them, and the Jets cutting Taylor mid-season looks like a mistake, especially after what came next. If you told Patriots fans at the start of the year that Hollins would become a meaningful part of the offense, especially in the AFC Championship, most people would have laughed. That's not what anyone expected. But when the game got physical, when space got tight, and somebody had to do the dirty work the right way, he mattered. He became a real part of how this offense functioned when the stakes climbed. And Taylor? He delivered the kind of moment that lives forever in playoff memory. A tipped field goal late in the 4th quarter that helped secure the win. That's not some nice little detail. That's a season-swinging snap. That's the kind of play Patriots teams have built their legacy on for years. One hand, one bounce, one decision point that flips a whole season. After the failure of the 2024 offseason, free agency, draft, all of it outside of Drake May, this roster needed a massive rebound. And they got it. Not just through bigger moves, but through these hidden gem pieces that can become integral moving forward. And yeah, it hits different when the gems came from division rivals. That's just the truth. So think about what that means heading into the Super Bowl. Eyes are going to be on those guys. Hollins, Taylor, the kind of players fighting for more respect, maybe a better contract, maybe a longer role. On the biggest stage, that hunger can turn into real impact. And while everyone else is arguing history and awards and politics, there's another storyline that feels like it was pulled straight out of a documentary. Travion Henderson came into this season trying to keep expectations realistic. He wasn't walking into a powerhouse. He was joining a team that won 4 games in 2024. He expected a climb back to respectability. Incremental. Earned. I remember going into the season thinking, we're not going to win every game. It's not going to be like college. It's going to be hard. That mindset is different for an Ohio State guy. Henderson ran for 1,016 yards and 11 touchdowns last year and helped the Buckeyes win a national championship. Winning was normal. And here's what's wild. There was basically no adjustment needed. Winning followed him to New England. The Patriots won 14 regular season games, and now they're headed to Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. That's not a slow rebuild. That's a leap. Since the Patriots beat Denver on Sunday, his phone has been blowing up. Former Buckeye teammates hitting him non-stop with congratulations. And he's not even treating it like a party. He's soaking it in, sure, but you can tell his mind is already drifting toward the next game. Because Henderson is sitting on a personal 6-game postseason winning streak. Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, then Chargers, Texans, Broncos. College pressure, NFL pressure. Same result. He said it himself. He still can't believe it. I get it. If he wins this one, he could join a tiny club of players who finished college by winning a national championship and then won the Super Bowl as a rookie. But the line that matters most is the simplest one. He doesn't want to come up short. It's time to win the big one, he said. We're not finished yet. That's not just a quote. That's a temperature check on the locker room. That's a young player who already understands getting here doesn't mean anything if you don't finish. And that pulls everything back to the same point, the Super Bowl, the moment, the spotlight. A team that learned to win on details, friction, patience. Stevenson carrying the load when it hurts. A legacy getting disrespected, feeding the fire. Discarded players from rivals turning into difference makers. A rookie who already knows what championships feel like and wants another one immediately. This isn't random. It's identity. It's Foxborough remembering exactly who it is. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these stories makes you believe that 7th Lombardi is within reach? Drop it in the comments. And if you're riding with Patriots Nation all the way through this Super Bowl run, hit that like button and subscribe, because we're going to live every snap of this together.